Hello and welcome back to Coin Lady channel. As with the vast majority of crypto and finance, we will be discussing Ripple and XRP today. The total value of all coins in circulation is a good place to start. Since the monthly and weekly candle closes coincide today, it is a monumental day for the cryptocurrency market. And to be fair, if we do kind of look at what is going around this market right now, we're seeing Bitcoin marginally turning green, as is Ethereum, but overall activity has been really terrible. As we enter what can be called meme season, the majority of the current trading volume is denominated in meme currencies. So, the volume oscillators and the places where people are transferring money are two things I'm keeping an eye on right now. Bitcoin hasn't been gaining much traction recently. We have also been keeping an eye on XRP. The weekly chart for XRP is still rather encouraging. We'll get to that, but in the meanwhile, there's a lot to worry about next week. First, we have been discussing the financial crisis. We can all guess that the Fed will bring up the recent banking crisis. The stock market as a whole is likely to experience significant volatility as a result. And because of that, I believe there will be some market volatility in cryptocurrencies. With the next FOMC meeting scheduled for May 2 and the 3rd this week, attention has naturally turned to the Fed. You never know, this can even cause some jitters in the market. When the Federal Open Market Committee FOMC meets, we typically see a pump or a sell-off. Before they got here. However, May is traditionally pessimistic, in my opinion, all the way back to 2021 or even 2022. May has been somewhat pessimistic about 2020. It was quite optimistic, and I also think 2019 was optimistic to a lesser extent. But we'll get to that later. We're going to have to investigate that more. However, I'm more interested in the FOMC meeting in June because that is when the summary of economic projections is released. The Federal Reserve's strategy for dealing with the financial crisis is likely to be front and center this week. Perhaps, as is customary, they will reassure customers that their financial information is still secure. This weekly and monthly candle close is still rather bullish in my opinion, though. This is what I've been researching on the monthly as we look at Bitcoin right now. So, we are back at the $28,038 that marks the 2-3-6-month Fibonacci retracement level. We have been holding onto it and trading on it for some time now. This is a crucial region to examine, and if you check the weekly, you'll understand why. For quite some time, we were able to maintain our position at this level before finally breaking out to the tune of almost $31,000. Almost. However, we're currently relying on the 10-weekly exponential moving average EMA, which is currently at 27.1K. Here, I'm thinking specifically about a loss of 27 points, which is equivalent to 9K and primarily 28K. A simple 28K will do. We lose it in a big manner before the candle closes tonight, and I anticipate seeing that 25.3K drop to around it might be like 24.7K to be challenged. This is something I've been talking about for a while, and it will also, if you look back at the monthly and actually examine the macro. This is why I predict a retest of around 24.7K below ground. The current 50-month EMA is shown here. When looking at historical data, March of 2020 shows a retest and wicks below the 50-monthly EMA. It was happening in 2018 when we first noticed it. This is also something we've witnessed. Before that, in 2015 again, it was tested several times and managed to maintain its position above the 50-month moving average. The present price action suggests that we may see a decline of around 17.54% if we get a test lower from our level, thus I expect that level to hold and possibly even be tapped. However, if we are very bullish right now, and if we are able to maintain our position above the 10-monthly or the 20-monthly EMA, around 27.8K, then we will likely see a retest of that 382 level. Since this represents a 20% increase to the upside, a retest of the 382 would be extremely significant for Bitcoin. Many of you are probably wondering what Nick truly anticipates will occur in the near future. So, in the near term, as you do look at the 4-hour volume, it is coming in, but we need to hold on to so far what I have been looking at, which is the 24-hour EMA around about roughly 29.2K for this to continue to be relatively optimistic. After squeezing between the EMA while losing ground, the current price movement is the result of a further squeeze to the upside. It's going to be a bit of a fight to get back to where we were, and that's the biggest difficulty and concern I see with Bitcoin right now. Finally, every time we have retested at 30K, we have strongly rejected off of it. Even in this area, where we had hoped to make our debut, we were met with crushing defeat. Additionally, over the course of the past 3 days, we have conducted tests in the vicinity of the 27.3, almost 27.4K region and maintained this temperature, which is a large area stretching all the way back to when we first began testing. Wednesday, March 20. So, I'm keeping an eye on Bitcoin right now. This still has a great appearance. The fact that volume is still rising bodes well. And primarily what I'm concerned with is just us holding these crucial levels, because if we do lose them, then yes, I'm expecting 24.7K, 25.3K, anywhere within that region. And you could see it even here on the 3-day span where we did wick at the very beginning of March on the initial announcements of the banks collapsing before we gained momentum. Nick, I don't want to watch Bitcoin, and I don't want to hear about Bitcoin, are things that a lot of people will say right now. The problem is that Bitcoin is crucial to your altcoins at the moment because, looking at Bitcoin's supremacy right now, I predict that Bitcoin will continue its massive rise and reach $40,000 in the near future. I believe it will happen eventually. In my opinion, the range of 42K to 48K, or roughly 48.5K, is the most important one to keep an eye on. At this point, we need to decide whether to keep going up or to reject and retest somewhere between 422K and 36K if we reach as high as 486K. A retest of $36K for Bitcoin is likely in the near future if we only reach 422K. Nonetheless, I'm keeping an eye on Bitcoin's market share because I anticipate it will continue to grow to around 52% in the near future. I'm keeping an eye on this region because, once again, if we fall all the way back to the lows of April 19th, we'd be looking at a retracement of roughly 52%. In addition, I have been keeping an eye on the 200-week moving average, which is currently sitting at somewhere about 51.43%. Yes, if we do get this, all coins in circulation at the time will be put on the back burner. They'll take a back seat, and Bitcoin's price will go on a great run in the future. At the same time, Bitcoin's market share will likely begin to decline from its current extremely high levels. As a result, significant demand is observed at relatively low levels, around 39.66%. I've heard a lot lower demands than that. There may have been a new low in Bitcoin's market share. This is crucial, and I've brought it up before, because it tends to be the case that as Bitcoin's popularity grows, the popularity of alternatives like Litecoin and Dogecoin dwindles. However, if Bitcoin's dominance grows as Bitcoin's value falls, then other coins will quickly lose value as well. What I'm mostly interested in, and what most people who are researching alternative cryptocurrencies like XRP or Casper right now want? The fourth scenario, in which Bitcoin's dominance decreases as Bitcoin's value rises, is one that we may see happening. In spite of Bitcoin's recent sideways movement, all coins have increased significantly. This trend is likely to continue until Bitcoin gains significant strength. Very similar to what we saw in even like November, a few older coins died around this time, while others suddenly saw huge price increases. It is dependent upon the relative strength of your altcoin and Bitcoin pair. My attention has been on XRP, both on the weekly and the monthly time frames. This item is excellent in appearance. It has followed the current fashion for some time. A perfect level, or 43 cents, has been retested. To me, a sum of about 43 cents is a significant amount. I anticipate that this will be where XRP shows the most promise. Yes, I would worry and expect much lower price action near 36 cents and possibly even down to about 34 cents if we were to lose this. But so far, we seem to have turned this January resistance level into support. But on a weekly basis, I'd want to see XRP break above the 200 weekly EMA near 50 cents, form a bottom, and then surge much higher. In fact, if you look at the Bitcoin chart, you'll notice that we're witnessing a very similar scenario. The only difference is that XRP price movement from April 10th is the exact opposite of Bitcoin's. you can see that we had been riding the weekly 200 EMA before Bitcoin's price began to suddenly rise. The price of XRP has dropped and been retested. Now we have recovered some significant EMA, like the 50 and the 10. What I'm hoping for is a squeeze so that we can push higher, but that could alter dramatically based on Bitcoin's behavior. The XRP Bitcoin price chart is something else I've been keeping an eye on. It's been at a standstill for a very long time. Since the beginning of 2019, the XRP Bitcoin price has not traded above the 200-week EMA. And that wasn't even a powerful argument. When we made that push to a new all-time high in December of 2017, that was the last time we broke out above the 200-week moving average. When we do regain the 200 weekly EMA, and when we do see it, it will be extremely big for XRP, so that's what I'm keeping an eye on with XRP at the macro level. Yes, I don't think we'll break above the 200-week moving average EMA anytime soon, and I don't think XRP will be very strong against Bitcoin until Bitcoin actually does, have that major run up and have Bitcoin dominance, kind of take the back seat and start to fall while alts kind of take over, which is very similar to the structure that we see almost every time the market cycle runs where we have Bitcoin. After the large caps, the mid caps, and the tiny caps come Ethereum. To this point, it appears that today is indeed a momentous occasion. I'm keeping a careful eye on Bitcoin's value. Personally, I'd like to see us finally break off of this recent high, which is somewhere around 31,000K. That's what I'm keeping an eye on in regards to Bitcoin and XRP. Similar to all coins, I don't put a lot of thought into them. More volume into the XRP market is something I'd want to see. Since we kind of got that breakout at the end of March, volume has been relatively stable. I'd say the volume has been fine, it's been more or less ignored. There isn't a lot of volume into XRP right now, but I attribute it to the fact that most people are either chasing meme coins or putting their money into Bitcoin. The XRP monthly chart has also caught my eye. Now, obviously, the monthly is a different beast altogether. Yes, we have maintained that comfortable plateau. Depending on what comes next, I find this to be really promising. Is it possible that we could witness a repeat of the price movement in February of 2021? Sure. However, I do not anticipate a sudden surge in the price of many antique coins. That being said, I'm still tuning in. I'm still holding out hope for a significant breakout over 54 cents, where I expect resistance to lie. That way, we can try to have a huge break of the structure above all EMA and perhaps retest the 80-cent range I've been talking about for a while, between 10 cents and like 85 cents. Personally, I have a lot of faith in the 618 as the next stop on the run up, which is about equivalent to 84 cents. That's what I'm focused on now. As I've already mentioned, next week will be crucial for us. Yes, today is a monumental occasion for the cryptocurrency market, but this week will also go down in history as a watershed moment for the global economy. We will, without a doubt, be tuning into the Fed meeting to hear what transpires. I have no doubt that the banking crisis will come up for discussion. Whatever results from that, the course of the market is certain to shift. Now all we can do is wait and see what develops. Nonetheless, I continue to have high hopes for a prosperous year. In light of this, if I observe a significant drop in price, I try to buy it. Recently, I've been buying a lot of alternative cryptocurrencies. I'm still keeping an eye on XRP to see if it makes a move to retest the recent lows and the previously established support areas. But overall, I think it looks fantastic. So far, we have turned significant resistance into support, and we appear to be gradually erecting a floor, which is quite encouraging. But I'll have to wait. Before I commit heavily to any cryptocurrencies, I'm going to patiently wait for a couple of them to recover. Obviously, I have not made a lot of sales in XRP. I'm still holding out for XRP to have some major price movement. I'm still keeping an eye on the market even though I have a stash of XRP that I have no intention of ever selling. Still, it keeps an eye on a few things. Casper and HBAR were beginning to emerge, and it was thrilling to see. And sure, I can't wait to see what the remainder of May brings. Another year that I anticipate will be significant for us is 2023. With that in mind, I'm sending this film your way in the hopes that you enjoy it. Leave a like and turn on notifications if you enjoyed it. See you in the next video. Bye.